The question in my mind is, how do you create or relaunch a highly profitable and successful 6 to 7 figure business? With so much conflicting advice about the best ways to start and grow your business, how do you get it right the first time? I want to help entrepreneurs make a real difference and navigate the messy world of startup or relaunch. My name is John North, and this is the Startup Secrets for Entrepreneur Show. Join me today when we dig deep with our guests and get you the best blueprint so you can fast track your own business. This episode is sponsored by Evolvepreneur.app, your all-in-one online business system. Make sure you subscribe for future episodes at startupsecrets.show right now. So let's get into today's episode.
This is Tim S. Marshall. I just did a great interview with Startup Secrets. And I can tell you this, the next 10 minutes are going to change your life. We're going to talk about the power of breaking fear and what it takes to build a business and scale it fast under any circumstance.
My very special guest today is Tim S. Marshall, who's an entrepreneur, award-winning author, keynote speaker, and the nation's #1 expert on breaking fear in life and business. So welcome, Tim, to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, but there's always room for improvement.
Exactly. So tell us why we should listen to you. Like I've known you for a few years now, and I'm really impressed with your stuff. But tell us why.
Transparently, nobody should listen to me.
Okay, right. That's solved that problem.
So we're good now.
Stop listening now.
Yeah.
Tim's got nothing important to say. No secrets at all.
Nothing.
We didn't see anything.
Yeah. I would say the most important reason to listen to me is I'll say that most business leaders, speakers, consultants, sales trainers, people that teach on how to scale companies, not saying there's not a lot of good people out there, they don't know the secret sauce. And based on the fact that, you know, I've started companies organically, I've sold them for over 8 figures, I've written over 10 books, I've spoken to probably over 500,000 people. I had 28 years of a solid run between sales, entrepreneurship, teaching it. My main extreme point and the core to success is the power of breaking fear. And fear holds most people back more than anything else. And it's not about false evidence appearing real. That is the biggest bunch of BS that there is. If I'm standing on an 88-story building and looking down and I got 6 inches in my heel and my feet barely fit and I'm going to fall, that's not false evidence appearing real.
No.
You know what I mean?
You're going to fall.
I'm going to fall. So fear is about people buy off of fear, don't buy off of fear. People start companies off of fear and start companies out of fear. And there's certain ways to break fear. And when you teach, or at least when I teach, when I go into companies, and if I can turn around a company pretty fast, which I usually do, I come up with compelling stories that create fear for the customer in a very integrity way. And when you use that, and you use that with analogies, storytelling, it breaks down that customer barrier, and it also puts you into a new category of, number one, you become more skilled at what you do. And the second thing is, you're not that same person that everybody else is trying to be. You don't have that same pitch. And there's a reason why, even organically, when I started a company in 2008, when the market crashed, I never borrowed a single penny, and I was profitable every single month. And I sold it in less than 4.5 years to Konica Minolta for over eight figures. And I've helped people do the same thing many times over. And it does boil down to breaking through fear. And I'm going to say, as far as entrepreneurship, you know, the best place to be is literally at ground zero. Sometimes every single day, you want to have knowledge, you want to create knowledge, but the people that achieve most don't know any better. So in other words, if for me, I was a late bloomer. I had a 7th grade education when I was 20. So I really had to play catch up. But when I went out in the business world, I didn't know any better. I made 200 phone calls a day. I thought that's what the business world was. Well, making those 200 phone calls a day allowed me to learn how to create relationships with strangers, learn how to scale my customers, learn how to create referrals, learn how to network. And then along the way, I learned how businesses build, what happens with their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And for young entrepreneurs out there, or anybody that's looking to start a business, you want to make sure that you surround people with the skill sets where they actually can back it up with true evidence of succeeding in a certain area to fill in a certain weakness that can help you along, that is holding you back. In other words, there's a lot of people out there that they say they can do a certain thing, but then you look at their background, they've never done it. Being in the speaking world and going from stages in different parts of the country or being all over the place, even best practices, I look and I hear people speak that are supposedly big time experts. And I've been around some of the biggest crowds, and I'm like, of speakers and these people that are so great. And it's not saying that some people don't have the secret sauce, but I sit back and I say, that's not true. It's not
They haven't
true.
really done it. They're just regurgitating it.
Done it. Maybe they had a break and one of their friends had a venture capital firm and they got involved, and meanwhile, yeah, they got a $500 million, but how did they get that? And then you dig deeper, and it's not saying some people haven't built up certain things and created it, but you really, really have to be extremely specific on who you listen to, completely focused on whatever your goals are, to a level that there is nothing to the right, nothing to the left. It has to be a straight line of achieving exactly what you want to try to achieve. And you're going to deal with fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of comparison. You're going to see the Thanksgiving Day floats based on the fact of LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all these different things. You need to wipe that completely out of your mind. You need to look at other companies. And here's the biggest secret that I can give. If you're starting a company or looking to build a company, learn how to sell the products. All problems can be fixed if you know how to sell. You can outsell any problem.
True.
There's a lot of OCD people out there that want to line everything up. Everything's going to be perfect, but those people will not be able to build a company. Those people will put a company out. And that's why sometimes accountants do that. But a real good tip is to communicate with other entrepreneurs that aren't in your competing markets and learn certain skills, strengths, again, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Take their ideas, because once you reach out to somebody and you ask for help, are they going to say no?
Rarely not, no.
No.
Human nature.
And think about that. That could save somebody a lifetime of problems, of 10 years of school, having an MBA, a doctorate degree, whatever it may be. But meanwhile, if you reach out to certain people in could be different parts of the country, different parts of areas, any around the world, where they might have a similar business, but you take those chunks and you get that valuable information from them, and then you pile it together and keep it simple. And the thing is you have to be a good teacher, which takes time. You have to delegate, which is huge, because you can't micromanage everything. And the big thing is inspecting. I've seen more businesses either run into problems, not manage their staff, not manage their company, because they don't know how to inspect. They know how to sell, or they know how to sell certain things that, whatever it is, they got that motivation and pitch and all this other selling Kool-Aid, but they don't have anything else, which is actually the ingredients to scale a company. And you can take one customer, and that one customer knows other customers, and those other customers know other customers. And you literally can either make your job extremely easy or extremely hard. And working with companies right now, it's hard for, I deal with certain companies and I'm scaling them and I'm doing this, and there's just success. But do they have to work a lot harder right now? Yes, because it's a lot harder to get a hold of people sometimes too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're pretty well hidden. And like me, I never answer the phone.
They're not answering the phone. I've got a company I'm working with. I've got these kids making 200 phone calls a day.
Mm.
And sometimes they're like, Tim, we only got a hold of 4 people.
Mm.
And I say, then you create the best relationship there is with those 4 people based on telling them that you made 196 phone calls. This is 197. And if you can just give me the opportunity of 2 minutes, I promise you, I will not waste your time.
Mm.
And let me tell you something, that works.
Yeah, because you're only asking for a short period of time. You're not asking for a lifetime. You're just asking a couple of minutes.
Yeah, right? And you're humanizing yourself.
Mm.
So there's different antidotes, and if it's digital marketing, you got to be careful and make sure that you're setting up funnels, or you have somebody you're working with that knows how to convert. So there's different. I've involved myself in so many different businesses, but it all boils down to the same thing. You have to be your best salesperson, and you have to do your proper due diligence and make sure whoever you're surrounding yourself with is somewhat of an expert in their own area, and you're working together as a team. But save the time by reaching out to those that are succeeding, that are not competing with you.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's awesome, man. So how do people get in touch with you? You've got timsmarshall.com. Is that the best place to go?
Yeah, you can go to timsmarshall.com. Based on this as an entrepreneurship show, I've wrote many books, and I'm not in this trying to sell people anything. I've sold so much stuff throughout my life and done certain things. To me at this point, it's just an act of service, just for the most part. But what a relevant product that would be for any listeners for your show would be entrepreneurship. I have it on virtual training. It gives you all the secret sauce.
Nice.
No BS, it's just straightforward. I mean, I don't even know what it's listed for. It's $194, whatever it is. I mean, if you're looking to build a multi-million, you'll get more information out of that than anything else.
Nice, cool.
Yeah, and then what's weird, like Amazon, I'll just say it the way it is. Writing all these books, you have undersellers that resell your books, so you don't get credit for it. But still, I would say, even though I've sold a ton of The Power of Break and Fear, and I don't get credit for it, which is fine, because it's about giving. That's a powerful book.
Yes.
But entrepreneurship virtual training would save somebody just years and years of headaches.
Brilliant. Shortcut. Yes.
Yeah, very much a shortcut.
Brilliant. Well, thanks, Tim, so much for coming on the show. That's I knew you'd give us some great ideas and some great secrets. So I really appreciate your time. And we'll have a longer interview sometime, and we'll really dig into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd love to, come back, kind of just go back and forth and exchange on certain things. And with this topic, I mean, it's rich and it's changing all the time. And the last thing I would say is, for anybody, is just never, ever, ever, ever give up.
Yep.
Ever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a test of resilience being an entrepreneur, right?
Yep. And sometimes in the hardest times out there, and you work the hardest, you will achieve the most for the rest of your life.
For sure. Yeah. I think sometimes circumstances come about just so that you can actually, improve and find your real purpose in life. Sometimes I think, in these current times, there's probably a lot of people are finding businesses that they had to create because they've got no choice, and they're actually finding something better than they had before. So I think, coming out of that fear is probably the biggest important thing they would have had to do.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing to break. And once you get used to breaking fear, freedom and being fearless, there's no such thing as all fearless, but at least it reduces it tremendously.
Yeah, true. Thanks, Tim, and I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, take care.
That's a wrap on another awesome episode for the Startup Secret Show for entrepreneurs. Just before you go, if you like this episode, we'd be very grateful for a 5-star review. Please also consider recommending the show to a friend or two. Make sure you subscribe for future episodes at startupsecrets.show right now. Until next time, if you're an entrepreneur, make a start on your next great business idea today.